Welcome back to the Gup Shup podcast. It's me, your host, Bhavya.
And Anjali. Okay, so let's talk about today's theme. So why are you already laughing?
It's going to be a good one. I can feel it.
This theme is going to make us argue a lot.
Hopefully it'll be constructive.
So today's topic of the episode is just very specific, and it's about ICKS. So we don't have a dun 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 sound effect, do we?
We don't have it. Do we? No, I think it's this one. No?
We do. So it's about ICKS. Okay, so we'll start off by asking you a question, Bhavya.
Yes.
What do you think? What's your definition of ICKS? Like, what do you think ICKS are?
I think it's the meme where it's like, ooh, Berta, what's that? Berta, ooh. I think it's that. Berta, ooh, what's that? It's that as a feeling.
So for you, are ICKS something that should be determined as like deal breakers?
Not necessarily, because life isn't always going to be perfect. You know, sometimes if there's an ick, you just got to either deal with it or try to fix it. Not necessarily deal breakers, though. Depends on the level of the ick, though, you know.
Level of the ick, though.
Like most things. It's
water bottle?
It's a question of like amount, you know, moderation. What do you think an ick is?
I think an ick is just something that would make me physically cringe. Like it's something that somebody would do, and I'm just like, you know, there's a physical reaction.
Has to be physical?
It has to be physical.
Can you replicate that? What does it look like?
Like, I don't know. It's just like you just feel like your organs just tightening up, and you're like, I gotta leave the situation right now. So it's like a physical, you know, cringe reaction. You feel secondhand embarrassment being around that person sometimes. Not all the time. Not all the time. Okay, but I'm
keep going.
Like, keep going. I'm saying for like very severe icks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But like the normal ones, yeah. Do I think it's a deal breaker? Some, yes. Some, maybe not. Some you can just, you know, work with it. So, yeah.
So let's get right into it.
So we'll start by telling everybody about our icks first, which we made a list of. So we're going to say icks that we find in like the opposite sex pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to say icks that you find in girls. I'm going to say icks that I find in guys. This is going to spark some controversy. I'm basically going to say that one wrong thing about girls, and all these girls are going to be like, how could he?
No, I'm a feminist, 100%. I think everything I say, all women will agree with.
Wow, okay. So should we go one by one? You can do one, I can do the other?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you can start. Tell us your first ick on the list.
Right, here we go. First of all, this is going to be something you relate to. Driving over the curb and then saying oops. I don't know why.
Why is that an ick?
The oops part.
I know it's cute. It's like, oopsie.
It's kind of funny because when we're in the car, I'll see the curb. I'll see the turn is being made a bit too tight. I'm like, I don't want to say watch out because you'll be like, I know how to drive. Are you being sexist? And then it happens. You're over the curb. And then it's like, oops. It's like a funny ick. I'm not going to say this makes me cringe physically. It's more like if you drove over a curb and you were like nonchalant about it, then that would be an ick. I'm like, buddy, you drove over a curb.
Well,
react.
I think it's just girl driving. You know, you sometimes drive over curbs. It's just part of building character.
Wait, what? You said girl driving.
I'm being
elaborate.
Sorry.
Let's start digging your grave here.
Okay, I'll take that away. It's just part of driving, you know? But it's like a girl experience.
Saying oops.
Saying oops. I think it's just funny. It's like you drive over a curb, you take like a second to acknowledge it, you go, oops, and then you just keep driving. It doesn't do anything to the car.
I think it might. Depends on the exact... Anyways, it's not that serious, but I just found it kind of funny. This is like a low-level ick.
Low-level ick?
The only reason I'm calling it an ick is because when it's happening, when you drive over a curb, I do physically go like, ee.
Oh, really?
It's like, because, you know, it's like, what happened?
For me, it's like, whatever. I'll be like,
that's what cars have suspensions for.
Roller coaster. Whoa. It's like going over a speed bump. It's the same experience.
Whoa. You're not supposed to be going that fast over speed bumps.
Don't you go up and down in speed bumps?
Yeah, but not like driving over. Speed bumps, like the whole point is you're supposed to go like slowly up and down. You don't approach speed bumps at speed, do you? How fast do you go over speed bumps?
I don't know, whatever the speed limit is.
Buddy. Okay, well.
It's called a speed bump. so you can speed over the bump.
If you go fast enough, you'll go over one speed bump and skip all the other ones.
Exactly.
Okay, that's my first mild level ick. That's like a eh,
It's okay.
just a eh.
Not a. There's no k in it yet.
No co.
Okay. So I'll say my ick, first ick. Okay. You ready for this one?
I can already tell it's gonna be exciting. Let's hear it.
Exciting?
Exciting, yeah.
That was pretty good. No.
Oh.
Say that again.
Exciting. I'm a natural at this.
I didn't. No.
I missed the button. Though.
Clicks the wrong button. Okay. So the first one on my list is an ick for me is when someone's acting childish in public or in front of family.
Including children?
No.
This 2-year-old is acting hella childish. Send him to the ranch.
Brother, no.
I can't have it.
I mean, like someone's partner, like if a guy,
Okay.
like a grown guy, is acting childish in front of in public or in front of family.
Okay. Any examples that you want to bring forth? Anything specific? Any people you want to name?
No.
Any locations you want to establish?
No, but like, I don't know how to. My point is, like, for example, I don't know how to say this without being specific.
Be as specific as you want. This is Gup Shup, baby.
Oh man. No, just in general, I'm just saying like acting childish, just like doing childish things, acting like a baby in front of other people.
What's a childish activity? Bless you.
What's a childish activity? Like, I don't know, like talking in like a childish voice or like being over hyper and excited.
Being excited.
Overexcited.
Overexcited. So you can be excited, just not overexcited.
Not overexcited. It's just too much.
I feel like this is a you'll know when you see it kind of behavior.
Yeah, like I don't know, like if you're just like acting like a child in public.
You want your men to be men.
Well, no.
Gotta be manly.
No, I mean just like act normal. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Just act normal, like your age.
Act your age. Okay, that's fair.
Act your age.
You can act your age.
But like being childish makes me physically cringe. Like if I see someone be childish.
Like that guy that sings at the top of his lungs in New York. He's like he has headphones in and he's just screaming the lyrics. Would you consider that as being childish?
Well, that's because that's for the purpose of content creation.
Okay.
It's fine. But like let's say I don't know how to explain it, but like I'm trying to think of an example. Like you're going grocery shopping. And if I was like with a guy, if you're going grocery shopping, and the guy was like, I want to sit in the shopping cart.
Okay. Okay, that's a good example. Yeah.
Right?
That's obviously a bit too far.
I'm not trying to be sexist, but like
the guy can be like, oh cool. Onions. I love onions. Let's get some onions. That's okay.
Just to add on to the ick, like just because it's related, like even if a guy like runs like a kid. Like if they get really super excited, like super excited about something, and they're like, oh my god. Like all like jumping up and down and clapping and like oh my god, look, they have Star Wars gummies on the shelf. Like,
so you can be excited, just not childishly excited.
In public, yeah.
In public, okay.
Yeah. If you're like privately, whatever, you be free to do whatever you want. Like that doesn't matter. But like in front of like other people, it's just like
interesting.
Keep cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fair. My turn.
That was a severe ick, by the way.
Severe. This is kind of severe too, trying to fit in. I think it's because we watched Inside Out 2, and one of the characters was trying to fit into her hockey team or something.
Riley,
is that her name?
Yeah.
I watched the movie, okay? I'm just bad with names. And then she was trying to fit in with her hockey team and just acting over the top, trying to fit in. So I feel like if that's happening with somebody else, that's an ick for me. It's too much for me to, see that happening.
I agree. I feel like that's an ick for me too, but for girls. Because guys don't tend to do this stuff.
We do, just not in the same way,
Like you don't show it as much. But girls, they show it.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. Like an ick for me for girls maybe would be that.
Like being overly bubbly or something, or overly just trying to, like you can tell that when someone's trying too hard to fit in.
Just like trying to change their whole personality.
Yeah.
It's worse when you know that person.
Mm-hmm. It's like, who are you?
Yeah, like, this is not how you really are.
Yeah.
I know you. Like, buddy, chill. So trying to fit it. Like, any specific examples you have?
Just the movie. That movie, when I watched it, and I saw that happening, it made me physically cringe.
Yeah.
I was like, I almost couldn't watch it. I was like, I know where this is going. It's not gonna end well.
Yeah, it's a good one. That's a moderate ick.
No, I think that's severe ick.
ick.
That's an ick.
Ick. Okay.
It could be the end. That's
Wow, good with the puns today.
that's me.
Okay, ready for my next one? So, second ick is when someone's spitting in your face while talking. Like if I'm talking to you, if you're talking to me actually, and there's just splatters of spit flying onto my face.
Not on purpose. I hope you mean like.
Well, obviously no one's gonna do it on purpose. If anybody's seen the Bollywood movie Mehuna, they would know what I'm talking about. There's a specific character in that movie, and I won't spoil it since you haven't seen it apparently, which is a whole other topic. But Mehuna, like, there's this character, and every time he speaks, they over exaggerate, of course, in the movie, but they're just like waterfall of like spit falling on someone. So that's just like that's an ick for me.
Like moderate?
Moderate, because I know it's not purposeful, but like, oh.
Say it, don't spray it, you know?
Yeah.
That's fair. Oh, this one's going to be the downloads folder. I know somebody, I'm not going to name names, but they have, like, on their computer, their laptop, their downloads folder is like 300 gigabytes of useless files. And then they're complaining. They're like, I don't have any storage on my laptop anymore. What do I do? What do I do? So I'm suggesting alternatives like, get an external SSD, or if you have a lot of files that you want to keep, look into a NAS or something. And then I'm like, you know what, before I suggest anything even more than that, let's check out the laptop first. Go to the laptop, open up the folders, check the history, and downloads folder is number 1 on the list of space used. It has more than the program files.
You can name drop. It's me.
It's you. I don't get it. Well, just empty the downloads folder. You don't use that stuff ever again. Just recycle it. Be done with it.
I need to defend myself here. There's so many things I've downloaded that's in my downloads folder that's important. But then, like, what if I empty my entire downloads and I lose it forever because it's nowhere else? So, like, when I need to look for something, I know my downloads folder is huge, so I just go in the search box and I just search it up. Like, my dance studio logo is somewhere in my downloads folder, like the original logo.
The original.
Yeah. So if I cleared up my downloads folder, I would lose that. Certain like MP3 mixes that I made that I need, I would lose that. Or I just have attachment issues. Okay, it's like hoarding, but on like internet level, computer level.
We need to clear out that stuff. We need like some kind of a system.
I tried to. The other day I sat and I actually was like, I deleted like 5 files.
5? Wow. Amazing. That's progress.
Out of like 100,000.
For real though, if you're out there and you just got a new laptop or something, it's not too late. Start off strong with your organization habits so it doesn't end up getting bad. Because right now you're stuck with that. Your laptop is like chugging along. It's like, I need space. And you're like, well, it sucks.
Yeah, and then every time I need space, I just go and delete something else from a different folder just to make like 3-4 gigabytes just to be able to download something.
Scavenging the bytes.
Every byte counts.
Well, that's a big one for me.
Is that moderate? Severe?
Like in terms of the reaction I get, it's severe.
Okay.
In terms of like, it's not a deal breaker. I'm not gonna like go unconscious or something, but it's not. You can fix it.
Yeah.
And as long as it's working, it's working.
Okay, ready for my third ick?
I'm ready.
My third ick is someone not having initiative or drive in life.
I agree with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my defense, just the way you're looking, I think it's okay to be lost in life at certain points. And not having drive is like, if it's a long-term thing, then that becomes an ick for me.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay to be lost and then admit that you're lost and look for advice.
Like, what's an ick for me, for instance, and it's, I understand some people do it, but it's just for me personally, is I have an ick. Like, I get the ick if somebody's like, I'm gonna take a gap year.
That's gonna be some controversy. Let's go on that.
I'm gonna take a gap year to discover myself, to figure out what I want to do in life. I think it's because it's like, I've explained this so many times, but it's because like I've grown up having a very focused and certain goal in life since junior high. I was like, I want to be a dentist when I grow up. That's it. So like I spent the rest of my life dedicating all of my attention and like focus on getting to the goal, which I am on path to. And there's never a moment where I was like, I want to take a gap year after high school or after undergrad and just like figure myself out, unless I had to, right? But even if I did take a gap year, if I didn't after for undergrad, if I didn't get into dental school right away, I already had plans of working
Mhm.
in that time. But I don't understand like if people just like fully take a gap year, don't really do much except sit and just think.
Mm.
So that gives me the ick and just like being all over the place.
This is like a whole nother topic, but I'll say a couple of things. First of all, you're very privileged that you have a goal in life. Like, I'm serious. Like, having a goal is one of the most valuable things you can have in life, and a goal that you know that you are going to go forward with. And the worst thing is like when you have a goal and then you realize that isn't your goal. That's like you can just be lost for a while there. So that's one thing, is you got to be like, having a goal is very valuable. And the gap year thing, it depends on how you take it. Because I know people that take gap years and they're like absolutely loving it because they're actually doing something they like to do. I think you're thinking about gap years because what you're thinking about is not a gap year. That's just somebody being lazy for a year and not doing
I
anything.
think some people use their gap years as being lazy.
And that's on them.
They start off the gap year being like, I want to take this gap year because I want to do these things.
Mhm.
But then once they get into that habit of like not having to go to school, they just kind of they lay back and they're just not doing anything.
No, that's true.
So
That's fair.
this is a severe ick for me and it bothers me because it's like there needs to be some sort of goal in life.
100%.
There can't be like, I hate, just go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
You're not, I'm just go with the flow, which I know. But some people are like really like just go with the flow.
And sometimes it works.
But I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if somebody's watching, we're not blaming you. We're not trying to.
I am blaming you. I'm just joking.
It's sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. These are just our personal opinions.
Yeah, but just needs to be a concrete goal.
Okay, fair enough.
Concrete goal direction, you know?
What if somebody's concretely wanting to go with the flow?
No.
Yeah, 100% I want to go with the flow.
No. Going with the flow, absolutely not. For like small things, I understand, right? Like everyday life things, like go on vacation, didn't make a plan, certain days, go with the flow kind of thing. That makes sense. But like your life
on the time scale of decades, hell no.
Yeah, be like, oh, we'll see what happens. No, you have to put effort. Things don't come to you. You have to actually have an end goal, and then everything kind of will fall into place once you have that end goal. Because then you just like organize your whatever decisions, actions, behaviors all throughout life to be able to reach it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if somebody like, as another example, if somebody was in business and they were like, my end goal is to build my own business, be a CEO, right? They will have that as like their top priority that they want to eventually reach, and then until then they will do things like, you know, go to business school, work under other companies and to start off with, then be like an innovator entrepreneur and start like pitching ideas, then building a business slowly, like a small business, and then working on growing it. Like that makes sense.
Mhm.
You're just be like, "Oh, we'll see.
Well, it'll happen eventually, yeah.
Something will happen. If it's meant to be, it's no. You have to make it meant to be."
That's 100%. We should have like a life advice episode at one point.
I can go on and on about this. Okay, what's your next ick?
My next ick, the hangry level. People that get hangry, you're allowed to get hangry, but you got to be, when somebody else, look, when you're hangry at somebody else, you got to be a bit nicer to them because they're just trying to help you out. They're trying to get you some food. They're trying to get you through it. But if they give you some food and you're like, nah, I don't want it. It's like, what do you want? I don't know. I'm just angry and hungry. It's not really helpful, you know? I'm not naming names.
Okay, in my defense, no. Okay, yeah, you're right. No, okay. I'll give an example with my brother. One time I was very, very hangry. Like I was hungry. And when I specifically, the people express their hangriness in different ways. Me, it's like when I get really hangry, I start craving something very specific and I just need it. So I remember one time I was very, very hangry and I told my brother, like, I am craving New York fries. Please, like, get me New York fries.
I know the story.
And then, you know, he was good as a good older brother. He like left, drove. He's like, "Don't worry, I'll get it for your little sister." He went to like Millwoods Town Center when I don't know. I think he was there, or something. Maybe he was already out or something. He went there.
Somewhere there was a New York fries.
There was New York fries. He went, drove, you know, ordered it, picked it up, and came home to drop it off. He dropped it off. I opened it because I wanted a veggie works, but I have very specific order demands, right? Like And you need to know I hate tomatoes, like raw tomatoes. So I opened the box, and my brother knows I don't like tomatoes, but I guess he forgot. And then lo and behold, you see like tomatoes on the fries. And I remember I was so hangry that I was so frustrated. And when I'm frustrated, I cry. I started crying my eyes out, and I'm like, it's not the same. I'm like, you got me tomatoes. He was like, oh my god, like he's like, I'm sorry. Like he was trying to be like apologizing, and he was like, I'll take it out or something, or you can just eat around it, like don't eat it.
You ruined it.
I'm like, no, it touched it. It's contaminated. It's like I can't. So to be honest, when I'm hangry, my brain does not work. Then later when I think about it, I'm like, okay. But it's just you gotta realize like sometimes it's hangriness, you just like in a different. It's like being drunk.
Yeah.
You don't remember after.
I'll be honest, it's funny after. During the moment, it's not fun. But afterwards, it's very funny to think about.
Because I remember my brother was like, I'll go get another. I'm like, no. Now
I'm going to starve.
I'm like, now I don't even want it. I'm just going to sit here and starve.
Yeah. And then that makes you hangrier.
Yeah.
It's a never ending cycle until finally you just cave in.
Finally, I settle for something else. And
yeah.
Then, my stomach's full, but my brain isn't.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. The stomach and the brain have to be full for full Angeliness.
Yeah. Yeah. So I agree with you though still. Like it's
in terms of like ick level, it's like when it's happening, it's major ick. It's like but then afterwards it's kind of like, that's cute. Ick.
Yeah. Sure.
What? Have I said something wrong?
No. Okay. My next ick. It's a nice, sweet, simple ick. I get the ick if someone is using improper grammar. But over text is okay, certain things. But like in person. And this is not related to like you or anybody I know.
No, I'm just trying to think of how many times you use improper grammar.
Look, when?
I'll keep an eye out for
the only time I probably used improper grammar and I got called out by my guy friends was when I went, look, it's a geese. And then ever since then, that guy friend has never stopped reminding me. Because we were on a walk and I was like, look, it's a geese.
And I feel like, I don't know why, I get the sense that you don't use grammar properly.
Maybe not.
Like an overarching sense.
My ick for other guys is like if any guy talks to me and he's not using proper grammar, or like, they're trying to like use short form of everything, I'm like, no. Like
you want full sentences.
Full sentences. I'm trying to think of an example. There was some guy I remember in undergrad. He was like not my friend, he was like a friend's friend. And the way he used to talk, he was like the guy who used to like talk with like gang signs and everything, and he'd be like very like, I don't know, overexcited all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He would try talking like in a cool way, and I don't know where somebody decided cool means less grammar. And I remember he used to say stuff without grammar. I'd be like, just don't talk to me.
I think it depends on if they're trying hard to fit in. Going back to my previous one, then it becomes like bad. But what if they just talk like that?
No, I think it was more like a fitting in thing. Like he was trying to act cool.
Then there we go. We've discovered the source of the ick.
Like you don't need to act cool. You know what's cool? Grammar. Full sentences.
Periods, commas, semicolons, colons.
Exactly.
I'm gonna start using punctuation like that.
But over text is fine. Over text, some grammar things bother me, but not. In over text, you're like everything kind of being quick and short. But like some things, yes, but like otherwise, it's fine.
I agree. Period.
Okay.
What's next, comma, Anjali?
Your ick, period.
Ooh. Horoscopes. Taking them too seriously.
What? Okay.
Taking them too seriously. Oh, that's a Libra activity. I don't mess with that. Or it's like he's a Aries or whatever. I don't even know all the horoscopes.
First up, what's your horoscope sign?
Pisces.
Makes sense.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
Pisces are sensitive, emotional. That's why you get bothered with horoscopes.
You can use any horoscope and turn it around any way you want. People that write,
but Pisces are sensitive. They're daydreamers. Their attention's always in their head and clouds.
Dang, that's kind of true.
That is true.
No. And see how easy it is to fall into it? It's like, wait, that is me kind of. Yeah.
Okay, I agree. Like if it's too serious, like if people are like defining relationships based off horoscopes, that's a bit much. Like if you're going out on out on dates with guys, like trying to figure out who to like date long term, and then during the date you're like, "What are you?" And he's like, "I'm a Capricorn." And you're like, "No, this date is over." That's a little too much.
I mean, to be fair, that's pretty much Indian matchmaking
Yeah,
on
horoscopes.
Rashis. So
But
I
think
don't agree with that either. You know how irritating it is when your parents talk about like Rashis and all the kind of like kundli and everything, and then it's like you're destined to die by hand of this or whatever. They're not supposed to tell you, but like it's predictions with that level of seriousness. And I'm like, I don't believe any of this, but they do, which means you have to like respect it because they believe in it.
Yeah, that part I agree. Like it's not good.
And it affects marriages too.
Yeah.
Because your parents will be like, no, in your kundi, you can't marry a guy with this Rashi because or else your kids will have 3 eyes or something.
Or you got to marry a cow before you can marry anybody because you're cursed.
Marry a what?
A cow.
You got to do that?
Some people do that in India.
Oh, like, not you though.
No, not
okay.
me.
I thought you meant like this is something they told you.
No. Can you imagine? You guys are gonna see wedding photos with a cow. No, for me, I think we can have a whole episode on horoscopes. That's another good topic.
Yeah.
For me, I think my kundali says something about I have like a greh, which is like a bad thing, pretty much, and it means something like I can't marry before age 25. And I was like, bro,
And don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's not happening. I remember something and I was like, nah, I'm not worried. Like, even though I don't believe in it, but like, I'm like, if my parents were like super into it,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, if my mom specifically was into it, then that would this specifically didn't really matter to me.
Yeah,
if I wasn't planning to.
Exactly. If your parents are into it, then you got to be into it too, to some level.
But like, what about like horoscope for fun?
I
like,
love
you know,
that.
like opening.
I think that's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny because it's pretty much just like opening up like a pack of random cards, like tarot cards or something, and like reading your own fortune, pretty much.
You know what I want to do? So I want to add this to my bucket list. I keep forgetting. I want to go to like a tarot reader. Or
Tarot reader, yeah.
Like that'd be kind of fun. The thing is, they're so expensive, and like it might not. Like some people believe in it, so I'll be respectful. Like it might not be true, like whatever they're saying. But like just to experience it once would be kind of fun and see like what they can dig out from past life. Unless it's like basic stuff, like I can see that you were born, like bro, obviously.
And then go on.
You have sibling. Like, okay, tell me the sibling's name and age.
I think tarot card, like, it's a form of entertainment. If anybody believes in that stuff, I'm sorry, but
would you ever try it?
I would try it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't like.
Imagine how cool it would be if we can get somebody doing like a tarot card reader
Like live,
on
yeah.
podcast.
That would be pretty cool. But the problem is once it happens and they do a reading for you, psychologically it'll still be in your head. So it could be like a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know?
Maybe like that's why I just don't do something about the future because you don't really know. Maybe start off by asking them to tell you about your past because you can't self-fulfilling prophecy your past. So if they can accurately guess things from your past specifically without having known you, and if you haven't posted those things like on social media where they can search you up, then I would be like, that's impressive. So,
well, if you're a tarot card reader, let us know.
Yeah,
we'd love to have you on.
That's true.
After I insulted your entire profession, but no.
Okay, so my next ick, number 5, is men not wearing deodorant or cologne, just like improper hygiene.
First of all, don't look at me though. Not for this one. Not for this one.
Okay. I think this is like a brown boy thing. Okay, that like not all brown boys, but many. It's not their fault. I think there's like a lack of like parents telling them about hygiene. Like, what do you think? Like, how like does parents just not teaching guys about hygiene, or it's either a mix of either that, like parents not like them not growing up and being told like it's time to wear deodorant, like you stink, or it's either that I think for the people who actually don't follow hygiene, or it's just ego. They're like, I think I smell naturally good. I don't need deodorant or cologne.
I think it's probably the first. I don't think anybody's like.
Okay, but you'd be surprised.
Maybe. Actually, I can see both cases now.
Because I know people who are like older than me, who just don't follow hygiene, and they stink. Like I'll be honest, they stink. Like I can't. I can't even walk near their presence. Like there's like this like
Force field.
yeah, like it's like in like cartoons, you know, when they show like the green stinkiness kind of clouds. Like I feel like some people is like I can visually with the sense of smell. I'm like I feel like I can see like an aura of like their stench, and I just can't enter this bubble because it's just too much for me.
You know what? I think that's valid. And to be constructive about this, I think it's time for brown men. Let's turn this franchise around. Let's start.
Yeah, because
Because
like,
even if mostly, I'd say we don't smell. Okay, we kind of do, but I'm not saying everybody doesn't wear deodorant. I think more people wear deodorant than you think. It's just that there's been this stereotype, there's been this perception, and even though it might not be 100% accurate, it's our responsibility to fight against it. You know.
But this is a severe ick. Like this is a deal breaker level
And
for me.
to show how serious I am about this, let me show you something.
Okay, but in the meantime, I'll tell you how um like deodorant is important, but just as important is cologne. Like I'm gonna be oh there we go.
I vowed to always keep a stick of deodorant on me at all times.
You know what's funny? Some people's icks is Old Spice.
Well, you can't have it all. You can't have it all. Come on, man. You want deodorant? You want Old Spice? Which one do you want? Like,
Okay, wait. Deodorant is like a given. Like you have to. Like it's just part of hygiene routine. You wear deodorant after the gym, after you shower, right? Before leaving the house, you wear deodorant.
Mhm.
You reapply if you sweat too much. But like cologne. Like it's not like technically if you wear deodorant, your stench is kind of neutralized. But I think cologne is just as important because like I think sense of smell, and I know you would agree, it's like it determines your impression to others. Like people will I as a girl will tell you like if I walk by, even here at university, like if I'm walking in the hallway, and especially cologne, because I don't know why more than perfume colognes just smell better or they're able to diffuse in the air better. But if somebody walks by me who's wearing really, really good cologne, like I will recognize cologne and appreciate it. I'll be like, that person smells really, really good.
Mhm.
Like there's so many moments for me and like my friends in class will walk by someone and I'll be like, I'll mention it to them or they'll mention it to me. They're like, someone smells really good. Like someone's wearing really good cologne.
And that's just a good first impression. Like, you
Yeah.
have to have those impressions.
And like there's a guy in my class I know too who there's like every guy in my class I think wears some sort of cologne, but like you can tell whose cologne is who after a while, so there's like a signature scent.
Mhm.
So one guy in my class he wears like a really like I haven't even asked, I should ask him what it was, but like a really nice smelling cologne. So it's like it leaves a good impression that this person it gives the impression that this person is hygienic and
Mhm.
values and cares about themselves.
Which it gets more and more important as you move into like more professional settings, I guess, because at that point you're like trying to use every trick in the book to come off as, professional, as good to work with, right? The reason I'm very passionate about this now is because there's a big perception that engineers smell really bad, and I'm an engineer, and
And you agreed too because you told me I think that you can smell like
that was one thing. I smelled some really stinky engineers at one point. But what got me even like more riled up is that I was just minding my business, and in the engineering building, and these two girls just like walked behind me, and they just straight up out loud said, "I hate being in this building. It's like a musty engineering smell. Like it just smells bad
Was it
here."
because of you?
No, not because
Oh.
of me. I was like far away. I just overheard them, and I was like I know it's a common stereotype, but hearing it out loud in person, it just is like, dang, we got to step up our game.
If you're an engineer, just shower, wear
Okay.
deodorant, wear
We do
cologne.
shower. We do. Everyone
I don't know.
showers.
There's like, if you look at Reddit, like there's always these like jokes that are made that they're like, they smell like the buildings smell like ghouls and like it smells terrible. And do they even shower? Like I know that's like very severe stereotypes, but to avoid it, just smell good.
One stick at a time. One stick at a time.
And it doesn't take time. It takes if their excuse is, well, we're busy. Like no, like literally study and put deodorant on at the same time.
Okay, I think we beat that topic to death.
Yeah.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
Oh, alarms. Alarms. How many alarms do you think one should set to wake up? Let's say one wanted to wake up at 7 in the morning. I think maybe one alarm would be enough. 7 o'clock alarm. You want to wake up at 7? Set an alarm for 7. Maybe two. Maybe two.
If I need to wake up at 7, this is how it works. I start at 5:30. Okay. So one alarm at 5:30, then 5:40, 5:50, 6. Okay. 6:10, 6:20, 6:30. and then we up it up. Bring it up a notch. Then we go to 5-minute intervals. 6:35, 6:40, 6:45, 6:50. Then we go 1-minute intervals. 6:51, 6:52, 6:53, 6:56, all the way until 6 p.m.
You know what? Open your phone right now. Open your alarms page right now.
Why?
Here are my alarms. I got two of them. One for wake up and one for the occasional nap I might want to take, you know? Now
Good for you.
let's see Anjali's. Let's see it.
Then you gotta scroll.
What the hell? It keeps going.
Okay, I think we made our point.
I'm actually shocked.
Is it still
It's still going. There's so many. Why do you need so many?
I've covered everything from 12 a.m. all the way to the bottom of my list, 11:50 p.m. Severe ick.
Okay, it's not that severe. Like I'm playing it up a bit, but it's kind of funny and weird at the same time. Like just have an alarm, man. Just trust yourself.
No. We were talking about this. It's not like I can't go from absolute sleep to absolute wake up. It needs to be a gradual process. I gotta start pumping my body up to wake up very gradually.
So you're gonna sacrifice 2 hours of your sleep to wake up on time.
Yeah.
Bro. Well, that's nothing more to say about that.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay, my next ick.
This one's gonna be
How
personal.
many do you have?
8, so I have one more.
Oh, you have one more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'll do 2 more. I'll just choose two good ones. Oh my god, this is a big ick. Very big ick. One of my biggest icks is when guys just itch themselves.
Where?
I don't know, like just like groin area, or if they're itching like their underarms, anywhere that's unhygienic.
Okay, that's a valid reason. That's a valid ick.
Even chest, like that bothers me. This one guy's
Like over the shirt, under the shirt.
both.
So even if it's over the shirt,
Yeah,
there's like a layer of separation.
everything, even like any area, like I mentioned, even if it's over clothes, it bothers me. Scratching their butts, like.
Okay, that's a bit baboonish.
Okay, but like some guys, it really, really bothers me. It really bothers me, especially like, like if you're sitting in front of a girl, just don't itch yourself. Also, it's just I've had really bad experiences with like other people, right? Like just like doing that. And my mom, there's one story my mom always bothers. Like she told me that story has traumatized me. So my mother went to Cineplex. Or I don't know, where was I? I was there too. But like all four, I think the whole family went to watch a movie. We were at Cineplex, and my mom and brother stepped out in between the movie to get more popcorn for us. So they went to the concession. And my mom told me that, so they ordered popcorn. Then this guy working at concession takes their order, and then as he's walking away from the cash register, puts his hand in his pants and starts itching his balls pretty much. And then he proceeds to put popcorn into the bag. And I remember my mom told me, she's like, yeah, we're not eating this.
Oh
and I was
God.
like, I was just, what are the words?
Traumatized.
Like I wasn't even there and I was traumatized. I'm like, I can't imagine like just seeing that. And it just bothers me. Like sometimes guys get way too comfortable, not even just in public. Like, if you're like on the couch, you're just like sitting down and then you're just like yawning and then you're like itching yourself. Like, oh, that gives me like physical.
In your own home?
Yes.
Okay, that's a bit far.
In your own home.
That's a bit far.
No, that bothers me. Like, that's gross. Like, if you don't itch yourself, and if you really need to, get up and get up and wash your hands. Then
afterwards.
Yeah, like immediately afterwards. Like just don't itch your hand and be like, "Do you want some food? Let me feed it to you." You're getting a smack on the face.
You have a valid reason. In your own home, though, as long as
No.
in your own. It's the privacy of your own home.
No.
You stay hygienic, like in general, but you can scratch yourself.
No.
What are you supposed to do?
You can scratch your arm, your leg, that's fine. But not your like underarms.
I'm scratching my leg right now because of this conversation.
Not your underarms, your groin, or your chest. Like that's just weird. Anywhere where there's like a lot of sweat buildup.
You know what I'm going to say to that? You don't have hair on your chest.
Okay.
You don't need to scratch your chest.
I don't care. It's just like, just don't do it.
Okay, the public thing I completely agree with. In your own home, though,
No.
there should be some leeway.
No. I think it's just gross. It's like picking your nose in your own home in front of others.
Where did the others come from?
Like in family members.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's still like in other people's presence.
Like if you're in front of me doing these things, like absolutely not.
Okay, that's not in your own home. That's not like when I meant in the privacy of your own home. Like it's.
Well, you can be in your own home and you can have someone there, right?
Okay, I meant this as like privacy of your like as in you're alone in your home.
Alone in your home, I don't care what you do. Just do whatever you want. It's just like just clean your hands.
Okay,
right?
there.
But it's
That makes
big.
sense. That makes
It's a
sense.
big ick for me. Like big. I see this so much in like public, like guys especially. Just I don't know how to explain it, but
It's okay. I think we got it.
You tell us your last ick.
You said you have two, right?
Yeah, but you do one and then I'll do the last one.
All right. This one, not eating. First of all, I don't know. Maybe it's not about you, but it probably is.
Not anymore. I eat.
No, but I remember back in the day, you would go the entire day with like on one piece of Nutella and bread. And it made me cringe because I was like, how is she doing this? How is she surviving on?
It's like those memes. It's like, whatever you eat, like you're talking like, yeah, I've only eaten like an apple slice.
Yeah. Oh, I have another ick too, not drinking water. So let's combine those two icks. In general, I don't understand how you can get away with not eating anything, not drinking any water, and still function as a human being. It gives me secondhand like stress. It stresses me out.
Yeah.
I'm tracking your meals. Your meals have made me more stressed, or your lack thereof.
Yeah.
So those are medium icks for me.
Many icks?
Medium.
Medium icks. Okay, I'll choose one more. Let me see here. The last ick. Let's see. Maybe find something that's not so directed.
She's got a whole like list on her phone. It's like loading ammo into a rifle or something.
Wait.
Which one do I use?
All right. An ick for me would be someone who's rude to waiters or customer service. Like, like if I'm at a restaurant and someone, this is not like directed at all, but like if somebody, if there's like a guy who's like very rude to the people, maybe even at a drive-through, doesn't even matter, even restaurant drive-through. Drive-through people, I know sometimes it can be frustrating. Especially now, like I think people just complain about drive-throughs so much more, and because of like, all this like issues about immigration and people just attributing it to people working in drive-throughs. But like if I'm in a drive-through with someone, I'll give an example. Like let's say I'm in the drive-through with like, some guy, and he's ordering something, and the person on the other side of the drive-through isn't understanding properly. Like they have to ask you to repeat your order a couple of times. Like, just be patient. And when you get to the window, like you might be a little frustrated, but at the window, if somebody like starts being snappy and starts like yelling at them, like I've been waiting here for 10 minutes. Where's my food kind of thing, that bothers me. Or like at a restaurant, just being really rude to very dismissive to like anyone working there, like waiters. Or like even like, oh my God, one thing is like it bothers me, snapping. Like if you're trying to call someone over and be like, hey, like if trying to get someone's attention and you're snapping, oh boy.
Yeah.
That's it. That's deal breaker for me, like 100% deal breaker.
I haven't seen anybody do that. Like I think it's gone out of fashion. I know. You still see it?
I'll still see some people. I know some people that are rude to waiters and like people who work at restaurants, fast food, anywhere like in public, like workers in general, and it just bothers me. Like that is not attractive.
Yeah,
and not kind. So that's a big ick for me.
It's like you gotta. To see how a guy is going to treat you, you have to see how he treats his mother or something like that. Similar concept.
Kind of, yeah.
See how the guy treats the waiters.
Yeah. So that's our icks for now. I could go on and on, but I don't know about Bobby. Bobby would have need like another day to think about it.
I think in general, my icks are very much in the moment. I'll feel them, but I don't have a list of them.
That's fair.
I came up with a couple of good ones right now, so I'm proud of that.
So I was talking to Bobby and I was telling him how like sometimes I saw this in TikTok. That's why I thought about this episode idea originally. Is like sometimes girls have like a list of icks on their phones, like a list. Like if you thought like a list, like my alarm list kind of vibe, okay, like
A
that,
book.
like a book of like icks. So they're so funny, and I'm like, it's interesting to see like what other people's icks are like. So we asked on Instagram for everybody, like for people to submit their icks anonymously so we can learn about it from a girl and guy's perspective. And we got a few, which I'll read out. We actually just got one too. So there's one that I haven't seen at all, but I'll read them out to you and you can just see how we feel. There's quite a few. So we'll just do
Let's go.
a quick run through.
Go, get into it.
Okay. So I don't know if this is sent from a girls or guys. Okay. So, this is a funny one. First ick here. When they don't like me back. Buddy. Or girl.
Deal breaker.
I read that. I was like, what? I was reading that yesterday. I'm like, when they don't like me back? I was like, that's an ick.
It's a deal breaker for sure.
I have a feeling I know who sent this. I think it was a friend. So
are we gonna play like charades? It's like six letters.
No, okay. So let's just imagine this, okay? The situation. So I don't know you at all, right? And we go on a very first date. And then the date doesn't go as well. And you're like, man, I don't really like you, Anjali. Sorry, it's not working out. And I'm like, ugh, that's an ick. It's over. I don't know what kind of like self like stroking your own ego kind of thing is. That's not an ick. If you have an ick that somebody doesn't like you back, then you're the ick.
I think that's a funny answer though.
It is a funny
10 points. 10 points for funny.
Okay. Next one. Oh, this is so specific. And I think this was sent from, actually I can't say more details. But like, I mean, I have a story about this. An ick is when someone tries to argue with a professor who literally has a PhD on the topic. That is an ick.
Like in class, you mean?
Yeah. I'll give an example. Like I know this is very specific, but like, how do I give this example? Whatever. One thing that I get, me and a lot of people in my class, in my school like program, we get kind of annoyed with is when people try arguing for grades with professors, and it's like they're arguing them like, no, you are wrong. You marked me wrong. Like sometimes it makes sense. I used to do that too, like in elementary with my elementary.
When it mattered the least.
When it mattered the least. Like I used to go up to my teacher in like grade 5 and be like, look, 4 + 4 is 8. You marked it wrong. I wrote 8. Like I should get that mark, and I'd get the mark. Like when you're grown up and you're working in a professional setting, like imagine like for you two, like imagine you guys had like an engineering assignment or something and your instructor marked you wrong. If it was wrong because of like mathematical error, that makes sense. But or not even that. Think of it like your instructor's teaching a lecture about an engineering concept, and then somebody raises their hand in class and they're refuting them and saying, no, that's not right. Like that's not how it's supposed to be. And your professor has had like 40 years plus of experience in engineering and did his master's, PhD, undergrad, everything, and worked.
Wait, so is he wrong or not?
He's not wrong.
Look at that.
Like don't question. Sometimes you do question them, but like when people are like just very like consistently arguing with them, bothers me. Does that make sense? You seem a little lost.
It all depends if the guy's wrong or not.
Okay.
Like just because he got a PhD doesn't mean he can't be wrong.
No, okay, that's true.
I know what you're talking about though.
Well, like
arguing over petty stuff.
Yeah, like it's not a big deal. Like,
yeah.
Just get over it. Okay. Oh, this one's good. So somebody's ick is when a grown man uses Snapchat as their main form of communication.
Do people still use Snapchat?
Apparently.
Wow.
Apparently. Wow. People our age still use Snapchat.
Our age?
Actually, one of our friends still uses Snapchat.
I guess it makes sense if you consistently used it when you were younger and that just became a part of your communication. Why not? I don't remember.
I think we've grown out of it. It took me a little bit longer.
I think the main reason we grew out of it is because we kept having to click on keep this message
Yeah.
It was like it increased our messaging time by a factor of 2.
Okay, but have you heard this? Like Snapchat people get really into it. So Snapchat, maybe people our age don't use it as much. There are people like this girl I used to be friends with. She used it until like I last talked to her, which was still pretty late into like whatever everything. And guys used to talk to her on Snapchat or whatever. But I heard I was talking to somebody about this today. I heard that Snapchat is still pretty prevalent in amongst high school students right now, right? And it's continuing on into university. One thing I don't know if you heard of this is like usually it's like girls are talking to a guy or vice versa. And do you remember Snapchat had like a snap score?
Like the streak?
No, like so like if you press somebody's profile, you can see their snap score, and your snap score is basically the number of snaps you've ever sent.
Send.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like if you like let's say like my snap score was 13,000 and then I just sent you a snap, it'll go 13,001.
Okay. So like 1-to-1. Gotcha.
Right? So there's like this thing like and it's like a, people take this really seriously. Like if a girl's talking to a guy and then the guy's like, all right, I'm going to sleep. He says good night, right? And then the girl's like, all right, good night. And then the girls check where his snap score is at when he said he's going to sleep. And then an hour later she checks the snap score and it
If
went
it goes
up.
up. Oh, reverse engineering that thing. Yeah.
So that's
Not going to sleep, are you?
yeah, so that's where people like there's like issues happen and like, why was your snap score going up by like 20 and within an hour after you told me you were sleeping? Like, who are you messaging kind of thing. So I agree though, like I think Snapchat is very immature right now.
You know what
at
that
this
reminds me
age.
of?
What? Streaks.
No. This reminds me of how the Pentagon, United States, like, military stuff,
Mhm.
they figured out that there was going to be a war because all of a sudden, all the Domino's nearby started getting orders for pizza, which means that they were staying later at the Pentagon because of this war that's going to be coming up. So they could accurately predict when there's going to be a war happening based on the number of pizza orders in the surrounding area.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I don't know why that reminded me of that.
Well, that kind of makes sense.
It's like, oh, snap score went up. Something's not right.
Yeah.
Pizza orders went up. Get ready to fight.
So
That rhymed. Damn.
if an ick is a grown man using Snapchat as their main form of communication, what do you think is an appropriate form of communication now?
Inappropriate?
An appropriate form of communication
For a
for a
grown man?
grown man.
Oh, handwritten letter.
That's true.
Bring it back.
Bring it back.
No, actually, like not joking. I think handwritten letters are going to make a big comeback.
I don't know. I think people are too lazy to do it.
That's exactly why. For anything serious, a handwritten letter or a note means much more than an email or a text or something like that.
I like the way you think. No, I think, yeah, I agree.
But in terms, okay, like my serious answer, it's changing every day. I hope it's not something like WhatsApp or Messenger. Like, I hope it's like
like regular messages maybe make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still like email, not gonna lie.
Okay, no,
I like email.
no. Like if you're talking to like a girlfriend, you're not going to email them back and forth.
No, okay. We're talking about like, you said like
Partners.
Okay, partners. Then yeah, whatever messaging app you're most likely Messenger. Yeah.
I think Snapchat is very like high school.
Yeah.
If you're using Snapchat past high school, it's a little much. I think everyone, but I think it's a phase. Everybody goes through it. Like they eventually grow out of it, but there's some people who just stay stuck in that phase, especially guys.
Honestly, I can't make that claim because I'm not using it. So maybe it's really good right now. I don't know.
Okay, the next one, another ick, is someone calling you shawty. The entire word shawty should be left behind in 2010s where it belongs.
Okay, let's first clarify. Is shawty and shorty the same thing?
I don't know.
Because I heard people calling someone shorty.
Interchangeable, yeah.
Because the only way I know like shawty is from that song.
Yeah.
Replay.
Yeah.
Shawty's like a melody.
Yeah.
In my head. That's the only thing when I would use the word. Yeah,
I don't like that word.
I don't know what it means. I don't know where it came from. So it could be like some really derogatory term. We just don't know.
Yeah, shawty's a bit much. You know, now that reminds me is a very short thing. Shawty, but another ick of mine is when people call like their partners babe or baby. I don't like that.
As a regular name?
As like a nickname, yeah.
That's a lot of people.
I know. But I don't like that. Like it's just like an ick for me. Like I wouldn't like being called that.
I think it also depends on how it's being said.
If they're saying it with their own people, that's fine. Amongst themselves,
it's like a personal ick.
Yeah, personal ick. But like, okay, maybe like if I'm in public and someone's like, baby, my head's gonna turn because I'm expecting like a little baby. I see a grown man and I'm like, dang.
I want to see the baby.
Like it's very misleading.
It's a catfish.
Yeah, it is a catfish. Like, but anyways, anything you want to add on to the shawty thing?
I want to know what the origins of the word are before I start using. Well, I don't use that at all, but before I even have an opinion on if it's good to use or not. Because like, I mean, it's not part of our lexicon. Big word there. I don't think it's part of our daily speech. We just use it because we just know of it because it's cool online.
Yeah.
So
it's like saying bruh.
no, that's kind of funny though.
Okay. The next one is an ick. Another ick is someone who brags about their body count.
Brags about it? Who's bragging?
I've never experienced it because I hang out with very
inert people.
Inert people. What's that word? But like brag about it. I guess like that's a thing. Like some people, I think certain cohorts, they still would brag about
I'm
it.
assuming you mean dudes, right?
I think.
I don't think girls are bragging about body count.
Who knows?
We're not the right people for this, you know?
I know we're not. But like I would see how that's an ick. Like, would you agree that's an ick? Like if a girl came up to you and be like, my body count is 10. And you'll be like, well.
Is that people you've killed? I'd be like, okay. Cool story.
I think it's kind of weird. Like,
I'm not cringing at it. I'm not like.
I just feel like keep it to yourself. Like,
yeah. Okay.
Nobody needs to know that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm not gonna be like, cool. I don't need to know. TMI.
Yeah, TMI thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting though. Okay. Next one. Ooh, this is a good one. An ick is someone who disrespects their family.
Oh, that's a huge ick.
That is an ick.
I don't know what to argue about that. Like, unless your family's like, I don't know, criminals that do bad things.
Yeah.
Then you can disrespect them. I think
ranting about your family is okay though.
Yeah.
But like disrespecting them like in front of others, maybe it's not good.
Mm-hmm. They raised you, dog.
Yeah, like if you're over at someone's house and then you see them like talking very rudely to their mother or father or sibling, older sibling or younger sibling, whatever. That's not right.
I agree.
I think that then you would be if this is your partner doing that, that's a red flag right there. Because then like if they can do that with their own family that raised them, how would they act with you?
Because you are going to become family. Like,
yeah.
At that point, you're just asking for it.
Yeah.
It reminds me, I draw weird. I'm drawing weird connections, but it's like, why should you be out if you get hit in the face in dodgeball? You saw it coming. By definition, if it hits you in the face, you saw it coming. You had the most time to react to it.
Yeah, I can see the connection.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
If your partner is disrespecting their family,
unless they can,
you saw it coming.
Unless they can genuinely change.
Go through some like Hallmark movie type story. You know Hallmark movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, I know Hallmark movies.
I'll be honest, I haven't watched a single one. I just know that they got a reputation.
Okay, this next one, it's not an ick. Someone sent a question.
Oh.
So I guess we can answer this. I think it's meant for, they're asking about, okay, yeah, we both can answer this. So do you agree that guys think from point A to point B, whereas women think from point A to Z with 5 different ways to get there? Have you seen those little like videos where it's like guys go from point A to point B? It's like girls going to point A to point B or whatever point Z. They go da 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 da. I agree.
It depends though, because guys can be very creative when it comes to some very mundane things.
That's actually true. For simple things, I think guys overcomplicate it. Or for complicated things, you guys go straight there.
Yeah.
And it's the opposite for girls.
It's why there's like so many YouTube channels about like the smallest, like most niche thing. And people are going into insane detail. And I like that. I really like that. But you're not going to see that with the I don't want to generalize. So
okay.
No?
To answer this, I think women go from point A to point Z, 5 different directions, but they get there. I disagree. I think guys go from point A, but they don't reach point B sometimes. They don't reach point B.
It's like a hit or miss.
It's a hit or miss. It's like, what's a good example? Like,
she wants a snack? I'll get her least favorite thing. Oops.
I was gonna say example could be like point A is like, you just had an argument with a friend, and point B is making up with that friend. For a guy, it's as simple as, all right, I'm just gonna go talk to him, and we're just gonna be like, we cool?
Yeah.
And the guy's gonna be like, yeah, we cool.
That's amazing though.
And then girls will be like, from my
Oh
perspective,
my
it'd be
god,
like,
Shelly.
Shelly, what the heck?
How do I let her know that I'm thinking about her, but not thinking about her so much that it's weird now, and I gotta be like, invite her to the birthday party, but then I can't invite her to the birthday party too quick, or else blah, 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 blah.
It's kind of accurate. That was pretty good. That's pretty good. You understood. You're
I
starting to
think I've got it.
understand
I think
our
I've got it.
brains. But you're right. Like if I had to like make up with a friend, that happened to me actually like, a few months ago. Remember? There was a yeah. Mommy knows all about it. I got in a little disagreement with a friend, and like we got in a fight, and then I went home, and then I texted you, and I remember I was like, oh man, like I'm really stressed. Like I think I hurt her feelings, but like how do I talk to her? Like she seems too angry, and I don't want to go up to her and then piss her off even more. I think she needs some space. But at the same time, like if I gave her too much space, what if she thinks that I don't value our friendship
Yeah.
anymore, and then we distance ourselves off and our friendship breaks? I'm like, okay, instead of talking to her, let me talk to all of her other mutual friends and ask them what they think. Maybe she's talked to them. And I did do that. I talked to them. I'm like, guys, like, she's upset. Like, what can I do? Like, I don't want our friendship to break, but at the same time, like, I don't want to, like, push her over the edge. And then one girl's telling me, like, give her some space. Like, she'll calm down. The other girl's like, I think you should talk to her. And I'm like, but I don't know what to do. And then I sent her like a paragraph, and then she sent a paragraph, and then it seemed like it was okay, but then it didn't seem like it was okay. And I was like, I don't know, the tone seeming off. So,
but it worked out in the end.
yeah, it took some time.
And my suggestion was like, just go and talk to her.
Yeah.
Point A to point B.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you rather have that?
No, I appreciate the complexity of a woman's brain. We're more
That wasn't the question.
We're more emotionally intelligent.
I'm saying if you wanted to make up with a friend again over a disagreement, wouldn't it be a lot easier and better for everybody involved if it was just as simple as, I'm sorry, be cool now?
I don't know. That's too easy.
Why do you got to make it hard? Why does it need to be hard?
I hope that answers that question. So we basically agree. We had some pretty good examples there. Okay. Now, all right. The next ick is baby talk with your significant other.
Like talking to your significant other as if they're a baby?
Like baby talk. You know what baby talk is?
Please elaborate. Please demonstrate, actually.
Like, you're so cute. People get cringe when you say like, you're so cute. Like adding like a
like patootie, if the word patootie involved.
Oh yeah, cutie patootie pumpkin pie. Or one thing there's this girl I knew, and one thing that gave her the ick was guys who say I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that's 100%.
Like yeah, like that bothered her. I remember like there's a guy she was talking to, and the second it was going okay, and then the second he said I'm sorry to her, she lost it, and then she ended it.
Verbally said I'm sorry?
I think over text.
Okay, that's a bit funnier though.
Yeah, whatever. But like that's an interesting ick. Like baby talk with your significant other. It's like I don't know how I feel about that.
I haven't seen it. I'll probably cringe if I saw it though.
It's like, when you talk to a baby and you're like doing that to your son. Doing that to your partner. This literally goes back into like why do people like treat their significant others like babies? Like they call them baby and then they actually treat them like a baby.
Is there like a psychological deep thing?
Kind of weird. Kind of weird. A little bit weird.
Maybe there's a deeper reason.
I think there's like a fine line between like nurturing and like being caring versus like just babying someone. Like it's just like no need.
Okay, so I think we agree with this.
Yeah. Okay, this was one of my icks, so we don't really have to elaborate on it, but somebody else's ick is also someone who puts other people down. Imagine putting someone's self-esteem down. Oh, this is so funny. You ready?
I'm ready.
Someone wrote, their ick is when a man talks.
Bruh. Tell me how you really feel.
Imagine going on a date with a guy and then he's
opens his
mouth and you're like, oh, it was going so well, just keep it that way.
I mean, to be fair, if you're expecting some wisdom, like some golden wisdom to come out of a man's mouth and it doesn't, then you'd be pretty disappointed, right? So that's the only reason I can think of why that would be an ick.
Oh, I thought you were about to take this whole other way.
What?
I thought you were like, if you expect us to say some goals and wisdom, then let us talk, kind of thing.
Oh,
I was gonna be like, buddy.
No. I meant like that's the only reason why I think could be like. I don't think this was. I hope this isn't like a serious answer.
Are you ready for the next part?
This part two?
They had a second one too.
Oh boy, okay.
Another one of their icks is. Are you ready for this one, Bhavya?
How bad is it?
Oh, is if he's below 6 feet.
Why are you looking at me like that?
What's your height?
No,
What's your height?
Why you gotta ask about that, huh?
What's your height?
Why do you need to know? That's confidential health information.
What's your Gujarati height? Come on.
Gujarati height?
Gujarati guys are short usually.
Oh, I was like, is there 2 different heights? There's like normal height and compressed Gujarati height or something?
The silence speaks loud.
Fine.
Okay, some girls genuinely have
5. I'll leave it at there. Because it's already shorter than 6, so.
Some girls have like that's genuine ick for some girls. Like, it's on their list of things they need in a guy and things they hate. Guys shorter than. Okay, but if you're like 5'2" and your ick is guys shorter than 6 feet, buddy.
Get out of here.
No, buddy. Like, leave all the tall guys for the tall girls, and take the shorter guys because even if they're short, you're so tiny they'll look tall.
Exactly.
Right? It'll boost both your egos, whatever.
You know what? It is completely an ego thing. Short kings out there, keep doing your thing. I think but shortness, the shorter you are, that's just, I was trying to think of a way to make it seem better, but it's hard.
No, okay. I just don't understand when girls are like, I need a tall guy. And then she's like, teeny tiny. I'm like, you don't need a tall guy. You just need a taller guy.
You just need a stepladder at that point. That's all you want.
We don't want the Jaya and Amitabh Bachchan kind of vibe right now. Like, it annoys me because as a tall girl, it's like all the short girls wanted all the tall guys, and then they leave. Keep
going. Keep going.
They leave all the short guys. And then the tall girls have to deal with like, man, like I can't wear heels, blah, 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 all that stuff.
This sounds very specific.
My point is, this is fine if you're tall. If this person who wrote this is tall. But if you're tiny, and I'm telling you, I'm coming for you. If you're tiny, you have no right to tell me that you don't like guys shorter than 6 feet tall, okay? I don't like girls who can't reach a shelf. So, don't.
Work on yourself first.
It's so anti-feministic. Okay. Another ick is an ick for men is when they leave the toilet seat cover up after using it.
An ick for men? So I would find this an ick?
No, sorry, like an ick about men, pretty much.
Okay.
Like girls find this an ick when they leave their toilet seat cover up after using it.
It's a fact.
Like, as an ick, or it's a fact that guys do it?
No, it's a fact that girls find it an ick.
Oh, what do you think? Do you think a guy should keep the toilet seat cover up?
I think it'd be nice to keep it down if there's somebody else that cares about it. At the end of the day, it just comes down to, is there somebody else that's going to be bothered by this? Is it a big effort to put it down?
It's not a big effort.
Then just, no, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
No, then just flap.
I agree. That's an ick for me too. It's an ick.
But if you're alone, then leave that thing up. Leave it up. I want to get a urinal in my house.
Okay,
and moving on. No, listen. We can talk about this because if it's a big problem where it's like the seat being left up is not like, whatever, just let's get a urinal.
That's worse.
How's it worse?
It's like uncovered, basically toilet the whole time.
No, it flushes.
Doesn't matter.
And it's only
toilet
for pee.
Flushes too.
It's just for pee though.
Ew, no, gross.
You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways.
Anyways, I'm moving on. Next ick is someone getting really angry and shouting over something small like a game.
Depends on the game, dog. If it's Monopoly, no holds barred.
Sports. Actually, maybe they didn't mean board game. Imagine like imagine going on a first date with like somebody you don't know, okay, or second or third date, and you call them over to your house, and you're like, "Hey, let's play some No, let's make it interesting. Let's play some Scrabble together." When
you said "let's make it interesting," I thought you were going in a like different direction.
Like
let's play strip Monopoly or something.
No, let's make it interesting, and they're playing Scrabble, okay? So you need to envision this: you're on like a third date with someone, and you're like, "Okay, I'm inviting you over. Let's play Scrabble," and it's supposed to be like a fun, really relaxed game. Suddenly, like, you're thinking of all these like huge, like complicated words, but the girl, she's like, I can't figure this out, or vice versa, right? The guy can't figure it out, and then he gets really angry, and then he does a full like dramatic, like flips the board and be like, I don't want to play this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. What do you think?
My opinion is that it kind of shows some passion.
Oh my lord!
It shows you're interested about something. You got some drive.
Okay, what about shouting over like sports games? You know when people like watch sports games and they get really angry if the team's losing?
Oh yeah, you gotta relax a bit.
And like they're like screaming and they're like swearing and they're like Like, you know, like
I think you should be allowed to be like really happy about sports games, like you're allowed to cheer and stuff. But when you start getting really angry, you're damaging yourself for no reason.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I don't know about the board game thing, but sure. Okay, this one's funny. An ick for someone is broccoli perm or haircut. And I can imagine exactly what they're talking about.
It's like the trend now, right? Like high school kids just have like broccoli hair.
Yeah.
It's either broccoli hair or
I think like
that's it.
the curly perm is fine. It's like a little curly. But like I know what they're talking about, and that's a little bit. It's not like a huge thing, but I can see why it could be an ick.
It's just a matter of taste at that point. I don't
Taste. I don't like broccoli, so I don't like that hair.
That's good. That was good.
Okay.
It's a matter of taste, yeah.
Next one. Another ick is someone who's overly boastful and talks about themselves a lot.
That's definitely an ick, yeah.
That is.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like I do that sometimes. Do I?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you talk a lot, but not about yourself. No, it's natural. I think
what?
you do agree that you are more of a talker than I am.
Yeah, but you're a listener.
Exactly. And
don't
I
know
like
about
listening.
that anymore, but
I like listening.
you're not a reader, I'll tell you that.
It was one message.
Okay, but anyways, what was the egg? What was the egg? Oh yeah, overly boastful and talks about himself a lot.
That's an ick, yeah.
I have
Easy
somebody I know really well that's like that.
Mm-hmm. Easy ick.
We call that narcissism, guys. Narcissism.
Okay. You said it really weird.
What did you think?
You're like, narcissism.
Narcissism. I did a full English report about this and the Greek mythology about the god Narcissus. And I know everything about narcissism and I can spot it from a mile away. What is it? What?
Narcissus was he was a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Sorry,
a
not
god.
a Greek god, but mythology, whatever, in mythology.
What'd
So
you get on the paper?
40%. I'm not lying. Miss G, if you're watching this video, I'll never forget that you made me feel English. English, what was it? English 30? No, it was grade 9. English, whatever. English 9.
Man.
But anyways, I know about narcissism, okay? And I can spot narcissism, and that is a definite ick. So I agree. This is funny. So another ick is if somebody says ax instead of ask, or your instead of like your, like you are.
Mm-hmm. First of all, the ax versus ask thing, that can be a bit problematic because some people just generally talk like that. Like they're not trying to say it wrong or say it's part of the dialect as well. It can be part of the dialect.
Oh, it's like how you say library.
See, first, let's focus on ask. Some dialects and some like pronunciations generally just have people say ax instead. It's like a common thing, especially like I think African American population. So that doesn't mean they're saying it wrong. It's just how they're saying it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't agree that should be an ick. Again, if you're trying to sound African American and you're not, and you're just trying to be cool, then that's an ick. But if you just talk like that, then that's how you talk. As long as you're getting your message across, I don't see a problem with it. And what was the second part of that?
Your and your. Like, you know, if you're texting and you write the wrong your.
Now, at this point, you got to learn how to use context clues.
Okay, but like, if it's a bit too much, I think that would bother me too. I do the same mistake, but like once in a while it's fine. But you know what? You want to kind of fix it. Like, imagine you're texting a girl and you're like, "You're beautiful," but then you write YOUR instead of the E.
Like you possess the beautiful.
So like, you know, like if you're in a rush and texting, that's fine. But if you're trying to compliment somebody and then you use the wrong your,
context dependent, yeah.
Not context dependent here.
Yeah, context.
Oh yeah, like it depends on.
If you're in a rush, then it's not worth going back and fixing your yours.
Like if you're telling a story and you accidentally mix up your yours, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're like trying to have like a romantic conversation with someone and you use the wrong your, that's it. Done.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. Library.
I don't say it like that.
Library. Okay, somebody else. This is a funny one. Someone else's ick is somebody with a Texas accent.
What's with people just not liking accents? I think accents are really cool.
What's a Texas accent? Like,
hi y'all. I know I am so bad at this. I'm not gonna embarrass myself.
Oh, like Sandy Cheeks?
Sandy Cheeks, yeah.
From SpongeBob?
Exactly.
Oh yeah. I could see that being. I think it depends. I don't really I haven't talked to anybody with a Texas accent.
I like all types of accents.
Apparently, there's an Albertan accent, and I don't know what an Albertan accent is, even though I was born and raised here. But
I
people
think
like,
it's a very specific, like more rural kind of accent. Maybe
okay,
we don't have it. That's for sure. Or do we? I don't know. Or
maybe.
we have like aspects of it. Maybe.
Okay. Next ick. This one's a new one, so I haven't seen it yet.
Ooh.
Let's see. Oh, never mind. That's not an ick. It's just a random thing. Okay, I have a bunch more here. All right. So this is from a guy's perspective. An ick that they found in girls is when they make insecure comments.
I agree. Like insecure about themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Self-esteem is big. You got to have some self-esteem. You got to value yourself before you can expect others to value you. So I agree.
But where's the fine line between, being insecure about yourself versus then being overly confident about yourself?
I think you
I feel like
see
guys are just like confusing because like they don't like when a girl's insecure, but at the same time, if a girl starts being like confident about themselves, they don't like that either.
it all depends. It's an art form, you know? You can't be like, oh, I'm so ugly. Because that's obviously insecure. But you also can't be like, I'm the hottest girl ever. You should be lucky to even see me. Like, there's a fine line in between. It's an art.
I don't know.
We can't expect there to be like hard rules about this kind of stuff.
I don't agree with that being an ick that much. Because like sometimes people are just genuinely insecure. And you can't make it an ick. Like if somebody's insecure, then maybe you're supposed to just help them get out of that a little bit. Just a lack of self-esteem is an issue.
But isn't this like if you're like meeting somebody new, like you're allowed to be icked by something, be like, this person doesn't have self-esteem. You can't be expected to be like, I need to help everybody.
Oh yeah. That if it's like somebody completely new, then I get that.
Yeah.
Like if you're meeting a girl for the first time and she's already like, very negative about herself, then yeah, like I wouldn't even.
There's need to be some personal work done first,
Yeah. Wait until like the 5th date and then you bring out the insecurities.
Are you? No, in general, everybody's insecure to some level.
That's true.
So yeah, overly insecure is probably like the biggest, I guess, red flag at that point.
Next ick is annoying laughs. I think annoying laughs are kind of fun. There was a girl in junior high or high school. I don't know if you remember who I'm talking about. And when she used to laugh, like she had this very prominent laugh, and it would start off with laughing, and then it would end off with her like snorting. But it was like, some people found it annoying, but I found it like the best thing ever because her laugh was so contagious. It's like as soon as she would like laugh, but then she'd start like squeaking as she was laughing, and it would just be like the best thing ever. Because I remember whenever she started laughing, the entire room will start laughing too. Like it's just like contagious.
It's a magical thing.
Yeah.
Remember that YouTube video where it's like a bunch of people in a room that all had unique laughs and one person would start laughing? That video sent me. Like I couldn't breathe after watching that video. And it was like 10 years old. So annoying, maybe that's the reason. It's your perspective. Is it annoying or is it just unique?
Yeah, a certain level of annoying maybe could be really annoying. So that'd be like bad breath. I agree.
Some of these are obvious. It's like
another ick is smells bad in body odor. We already talked about that. Another ick is dirty car or room. So like dirty, not just messy.
Yeah.
Says you.
Have you seen my room?
Isn't it messy?
No.
Okay, I guess I said not messy.
Okay,
just like dirty.
Maybe a bit. It's in a state right now, but I'm working on it. I'm doing some renovations.
I won't lie. Like I fall probably in that ick category. Like I have a messy car, a dirty car.
No, it's not that dirty. It's okay. I think you have different scales because I think when people say dirty, like they're thinking like dirty.
Yeah.
Like garbage on the floor and like dirty dishes around. Having a couple of clothes strewn about is not dirty.
Oh, I can see that being an ick though. Like I would get the ick if like I don't like when there's dishes left out on the counter before sleeping kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or just like if there's clothes, even though I do it, but like if I was like with someone, I wouldn't like if there was like random clothes all over the place or if someone's underwear is there. And, like,
I'm allowed to do it. You can't.
No. But like I wouldn't do the same thing too if I was like if I'm alone, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
But like with someone and you wouldn't want to do that. And then the last ick I have for today is they find an ick in girls controlling behavior.
Yeah.
That's an ick.
That's 100%, yeah.
No. There's like a limit, I think. So if it's like there's a certain limit to like once it hits to controlling behavior, then I can see that being an ick.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're your own people.
people.
Person.
Yeah.
Sorry. The
How many
grammar.
people are you dating?
Yeah, you're your own person, and then that would make sense.
You're
That's
allowed
okay.
to. You're allowed to like suggest improvements and just be like, I don't like this about you, and that's you're allowed to just say stuff like that. I think controlling, it's like you're saying, there's a level where it becomes manipulative.
Yeah,
Mm.
controlling behavior is just not cool. But that was all the icks I had today.
Purged everything.
We got for today. I think there's so many icks, like you can just keep going on and on. One interesting thing I was talking to you about was that it would be cool to do like a random little episode where we actually go around and ask people what their icks are
Yeah.
and film it. So maybe we will do that if you're at the University of Alberta. We'll do it there.
Come see us.
Yeah. We'll maybe do a little post and be like, show up, 100 followers, whoever we have, 97 followers, if any of you are from UA.
Yeah. That'll be fun. Just getting some more perspectives out there.
Yeah, because I think people have like a lot of icks. So
And like weird ones too.
weird ones, and also things that you just don't think about. Like some of these made sense, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And you just don't realize it until it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's our episode today about icks.
We got to find a way to close these episodes off. We need like an ending segment.
Maybe we can always like close the episode off by giving a little hint about the next one.
Oh yeah. Well, the hint is showtime.
That's a good one.
All right. See you next time. This has been the Gup Shup podcast. Bye.
Bye.